And so, ya ikhwati, my sincere advice is let your children and focus your children on a path to memorizing the Quran. And you cannot do so and you cannot achieve good results until you make it associated with rewards and positivity. My brothers, my sisters in Islam, there is a important point to note over here, and that is that as children, it is not a big deal if they don't understand the meaning of the words. As an adult, yes, absolutely. But as a child, if they don't understand much of the surahs except one or two surahs, that's not a problem at all. In fact, it was the tarbiyah of the ulama of Islam. As Al-Ghazali rahimahullah says in Ihya Ulumuddin, and as reported in the Mukhtasar of Ihya Ulumuddin, it is reported that Al-Ghazali rahimahullah stated that the Salaf al-Salih used to make the children memorize the Quran at a young age. And the vast majority of them didn't even understand the Arabic language properly at that age. They only understood some vocabulary. I mean, Adiyati Dabha, what would a child understand, for example, right? So, or وَالْمُطَلَّقَاتُ يَتَرَبَّصْنَ بِأَنفُسِهِنَّ ثَلَاثَةَ قُرُوء. What are they, I mean, even the Arabs today don't understand what quru is. How would the children understand ثَلَاثَةَ قُرُوء, 3 quru? What does quru mean? Quru means haida, or periods of purity. So how would you expect children to understand? You don't. So the reality is, yes, children may not understand the vast majority of the Quran when they memorize, and this necessarily is not a negative. So as a result, what you should do is to ensure that your learning of the Quran is surrounded with positivity and with a reward system, inshallah. However, some of the scholars of Islam also mention that the Sahaba would bring out certain verses of the Quran and explain it to children. An example of this, which was mentioned by some of the ulama, was how, for example, some of the Sahaba taught the smaller surahs to their children. And an example of that was Surah Fil. Surah Fil, as you know, was revealed regarding the army of the elephant. Okay? Alam tara kayfa fa'ala rabbuka bi ashabil fil. Have you not heard how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and what He has done to the Ashab al-Fil, people of the field? What was it about? Actually, the Surah Fil, if you learn the tafsir of it, you will find out that the Surah Fil was about this elephant by the name of Mahmud, who was the only elephant or the only beast in the whole army that obeyed Allah Azza wa Jal. Okay? Surah Fil was about Mahmud, who was the main elephant of Abraha, the king that came from Yemen to attack the Kaaba. And Mahmud was the only Mahmud. Mahmud was only Mahmud, meaning Mahmud was the only praised creature in that whole army, because as they came towards the Wadi Muhassar, which is the wadi between Muzdalifah and Mina, when they came towards that valley, Mahmud would not progress. And so they forced the beast to try and progress, but they wouldn't until they had to kill Mahmud. And they had to kill this elephant, because this elephant was afraid of Allah Azza wa Jal. But the rest of the army, unfortunately, they progressed through Wadi Muhassar, and when they went to Wadi Muhassar, Allah sent the ababil, the small birds carrying 3 stones from baked clay, 2 in their claws and 1 in their beak, and then of course killed the army through those stones. So if you explain to your children about an elephant by the name of Mahmud, and you made a story out for your children in that way, I will tell you that I have done this for my children, and mashallah, you know what, I noticed from them that they love to recite Surah Fil. Every time I put Yusuf to recite, Yusuf, lead the salah, it's Surah Fil again. I said, Surah, there's the other surahs as well. No, what about Duha? There's a lot of meaning. Have you seen my tafsir of it? I keep telling him, lead that. No, but Dad, this one is more interesting. I said, okay, no problem. So the point of the matter is, ikhwati, if you can learn the tafsir of some of the surahs and understand how it applies to children, and you can explain it to them, because children love animals, for example, and children love to learn about these sort of interesting things. If you can make it interesting to them, bi'idhnillah, you will make the Quran far more pleasurable and far more attractive to them, inshaAllah.